Before I start this story, I just want to give a big trigger warning. This does talk about children dying, so if that's something you're sensitive of, please do not listen to this story. Okay, I'm about to begin. A body of a little girl told us who killed her at the morgue. So this story is being told to us by a forensic doctor. So he starts off the story letting us know that he received a phone call asking him to go to the morgue because there were 6 bodies of little girls whose lives were ended at foster care. They told him that it was urgent that he check the girls because the officers wanted to find the person who did this to them. He said that it was around midnight, but he got there as fast as he could, and his helper was there too, and so was the police officer. The police officer actually waited outside so that they can check the little girls. So they were about to start checking the girls, at first the basic stuff, and they noticed that every single girl was ended the same way, with a pew-pew to the head. At first he noticed that each girl had died a different day because of what they looked like. He said that each body was in a different stage of decomposition. He said that he started with the girl that had signs of being the first one to have ended. He said he started by making an incision on her chest, and out of nowhere, she grabbed his hand and opened her eyes. He said that at first he didn't get scared because it's very common for the human body to move, maybe even sound like they're breathing when they're dying. However, in the stage of decomposition that she was in, it is not common. He even said that her body had already changed colors. He said what he experienced that night was like far beyond the scientific explanation that he can ever give anybody. He said that the girl grabbed his hand, opened her eyes, and gave him the name of her killer. He said that when this happened, even his helper screamed out, "She's alive! She's alive!" And he was like, "No, she's not. She is not alive. I mean, look at her body. It has very different colors and it's in the worst stage of decomposition." He said that her skin was almost green and it was bloated or like swollen. He basically said, if you ask me what happened that night, the only answer I can give you is that God himself gave her that energy to tell us who killed her, because that person must have been the devil. That night, they actually finished all the autopsies, and the next day he went to university and that his helper went to a different hospital. He said that ever since that happened, he never went back to working at a morgue again. He mentions how he's not scared of dead people, but he is scared of things that he has no explanation for. So then he was like, "Do you want to know what happened to the killer of the girls?" He said that he did end up giving that name to the cops, but instead of telling them that the girl verbally gave them the name, he lied to the cops and said that one of the girls had the name written on her hand because he knew that if he told them what happened, they were gonna think he's crazy and maybe the person was gonna get away from ending those girls. He said the name that he gave to the cops was a confirmed killer who is now spending the rest of his life in jail. Okay, first of all, ill, but secondly, what the fuck was that sound at the end of the video? I'm editing this right now, and I swear I kept hearing things when I was recording the story. I'm gonna show you what I edited out. What the fuck was that? I just want to finish the story, oh my gosh. He said that when this happened, even